I finally opened the safe deposit box my grandfather left me in his will, and inside was a birth certificate with my name and completely different parents. Not different as in misspelled, different as in two complete strangers I'd never heard of. The mother's name was listed as Diane Rothman, the father, Gerald Rothman. My birth certificate at home said my parents were the people who raised me. This one had the same hospital, same date, same time, same me, different them. I sat in that sterile bank vault for 20 minutes just staring at the paper. The safety deposit attendant knocked twice asking if everything was okay. I wasn't okay. My entire identity had just shattered in a 6x9-inch metal box. There was nothing else inside. No letter of explanation, no note from Grandpa, just this single document that destroyed everything I thought I knew about myself. When I got home, I found my mom in the kitchen making her usual Sunday roast. The same woman who'd driven me to soccer practice every weekend, helped with homework until midnight, attended every graduation and recital. The woman who knew I hated cilantro and loved thunderstorms. I placed the certificate on the counter between us. "What is this?" I asked. She glanced down and her face went completely white. The peeler dropped from her hand, clattering against the sink. "Where did you get that?" Her voice came out strangled. "Grandpa's safe deposit box, the one he left me in his will." She sank into a chair. For a long moment, she just stared at the laminate table. Then she started crying. Not the gentle tears I'd seen at funerals or weddings. These were body-shaking sobs that made her shoulders convulse. "We were going to tell you," she finally whispered. "We just never found the right time. 23 years. 23 years wasn't enough time?" Dad came home from the hardware store to find us sitting in silence. Mom handed him the certificate without a word. He read it twice, then set it down carefully like it might explode. "Your grandfather had no right," he said quietly. "He had every right." I shot back. "More right than you two, apparently." The story came out in fragments over the next hour. How they'd adopted me through a private arrangement. How my biological parents had signed away their rights at the hospital. How Grandpa had been against the adoption from the start, insisting I deserved to know the truth. How my parents had begged him to stay silent, promising they'd tell me themselves eventually. "Who are Diane and Gerald Rothman?" I demanded. Mom and Dad exchanged a look that made my stomach turn. "We don't know," Mom admitted. "The adoption was closed. Anonymous. We never met them, but Grandpa knew. He had to have known. Why else would he have kept this certificate locked away, waiting for me to find it?" I started digging that night. Social media searches turned up 12 Diane Rothmans. Public records showed 3 Gerald Rothmans in the tri-state area. I created a spreadsheet cross-referencing ages, locations, and any connections to the hospital where I was born. By 3:00 a.m., I'd narrowed it down to one couple. Diane and Gerald Rothman, married in 2001, living 2 hours north in Millbrook. They had no other children listed on any public records. No social media presence, no digital footprint beyond property taxes, and a single speeding ticket from 2015. I drove to Millbrook the next morning without telling anyone. The address led to a modest colonial with faded blue shutters. The lawn needed mowing. A rusted swing set sat in the backyard, vines growing through the chains. I sat in my car for 30 minutes, rehearsing what I'd say. Finally, I walked up and rang the doorbell. The woman who answered had my eyes. Not similar eyes, my exact eyes, down to the small fleck of gold in the left iris. She stared at me like she'd seen a ghost. "Oh my God," she breathed. Then she turned and called into the house. Gerald, come here right now." A man appeared behind her. He had my nose, my jawline, my hands. We stood there, 3 strangers who shared the same face, frozen in a doorway. "How did you find us?" Diane whispered, her hand pressed against her chest. "My grandfather left me a birth certificate. I need to know why you gave me up." Gerald's expression shifted from shock to something else, something that looked almost like relief. "We didn't give you up," he said slowly. "You were stolen." I couldn't fit what happens next in this short video. Watch the rest down below.